tell me about the voices. How did you go about casting the voices and getting the right people?
I met Dakota first, and a long time ago, when it was this pretend live-action film. It's just, well, she's been given the script and she likes it. I'm going to meet her. She was already had been in I Am Sam. She was already, like, very impressive young actor. She was 9 years old, and my meeting was one-on-one. She had read the book. She'd read the script. She had her ideas about the character, and just incredibly impressive. This, almost intellectual approach, along with someone who's sort of pulling at her hair, and stretching, and arms all over of a little girl. It wasn't to be till several years later that we got the go-ahead, but she was always loyal to the project. First, so we always had Dakota, and then Terry was cast. I was looking for just almost like a musical instrument. What's an instrument that sounds right with Dakota, where there'll be some tension, some conflict, but also a connection? So I listened to nearly 100 possible voices. Now, I didn't meet these people. Many of them wouldn't want to meet me, but I would just take clips off of DVDs, play them against, and I did this sort of process of elimination and came down to about 3 voices that really sounded musically and tension-wise perfect. And in speaking with Terry, approached her, talking about the film, we just hit it off. It seemed to be in tune. And then the rest of the voices are sort of built around that. I saw John Hodgman on The Daily Show. You might know him from the PC versus Mac commercials where he's the PC. And, I didn't know if he could act, but I met with him, and then, yes, he did. He does the fathers. We used a casting agent to find the YB character, Robert Bailey Jr., who's has a wonderful sweetness to his character. Ian McShane. Who doesn't want to work with Ian McShane? And Ian liked that he wasn't being asked to be Ian McShane from Deadwood, because that's what everyone wants him to do. He liked that he was going to be a blue Russian giant who's an acrobat.
Well, tell me about Coraline over here, if you can bring her into the shot.
Sure.
Just the construction of these, it was amazing to read about.
I work with a very talented group of people in every department, and while we have our vocal talent supplying the voices of the characters, and they're actors, and we have our animators who are also brilliant actors who perform through the puppet. This is what you see on screen. So a lot of care and attention has to go, especially with Coraline. She took a very long time to design, lots of sketches, 4 different sculptors to try to bring her to life, and then ultimately we build her. She has a little metal skeleton inside called an armature. She can be posed and repositioned and hold that pose. We can walk her across the floor. We have to actually drill little holes and tie her feet down.
Wow.
But she has a huge range of expressions. We really wanted to push how far we could go. We actually have separate sculpts for each expression, her upper face and lower. And then there's her skin is made from a silicone. Her hair is artificial hair, hand placed. So we have a wig department. We have costume department. We found this amazing lady who does miniature knitting to make sweaters and gloves. And the whole goal here was I wanted to be able to go in for close-up and not have the illusion fall apart, that you still believe she's a real character. Even if you know this is a toy brought to life, the audience has to believe in her.
Now, did you know what you wanted her to look like? Did you have a picture in your head?
When I first read the book, it wasn't published, and there are illustrations for the book, but I wouldn't see those for 2 years. So I had already started growing and visualizing her and the world early on. By the time we started to make the film, I had an idea for just about everything, because I'd spent a long time imagining every detail, and it was sort of like finding, the statue in a block of stone. It took a lot of experimenting and chipping, and how far apart her eyes, and sort of a little asymmetry to her face, so she looks like a real kid. But it's sort of like, I think I dreamed up who she would be. It took a while to get there, but it feels like a completion of this imagining that started a long time ago.